Any more questions? Go ahead. When I went to Dr. Miles Monroe School in the Bahamas, he said what happens with most people, the reason that they have to go back and forth in their life so much, he said because they get an education first and then they find their purpose. He said, but early in your life, if you begin to ask yourself, what am I passionate about, and you find your purpose first and then educate yourself in your purpose, it makes you a much powerful person. Faster. You don't have to keep switching back and forth if you understand what your purpose is in life and then educate yourself. The scariest part about being in prison? That's an interesting question. I don't know what was actually the scariest part of being in prison. I never had episodes when I was in prison because I kind of did my own thing. But the scariest thing that I probably saw in prison, I saw some people get killed when I was in prison. It didn't really affect me, but because I wasn't in that in crowd, but people get killed in prison. I've seen guys get their head bust. I've seen guys, a lot of tragedy happen in prison. So stay away from prison. Any more questions?
How easy was it for you to get a job after you got out of prison? Because I deal with a lot of felons and, full of excuses. Well, I'm a felon now, I'm a felon.
That's interesting that you asked me that. I never looked to get a job when I got out of prison. And the reason being is because I didn't trick myself. See, a lot of guys trick themselves, and that's why they end up going back to prison. I realized that I made a lot of money when I was on the streets. So I couldn't go back to a job that was going to pay me $10 an hour. So while I was in prison, I began to ask myself, what can I do to make money where I can take care of myself and be comfortable? I'm used to doing certain things. So I'm not going to say I'm going to go home and get me a job that's going to pay me $6 an hour and I'm going to be okay just because I'm free. That's the main reason, that's the main thing that happened to most of those guys. There's no preparation while they're locked up. And you have to be honest with yourself. I have to find something that I can do where I can take care of myself and be comfortable. If I was making $10,000 a month while I was on the street, let me strive to make $5,000. Let me see what can I do to make $5,000 in $5,000 a month so I can be comfortable where I don't have to go back to prison. You might not be able to make the kind of money that you made prior to prison, but if you can make something that you can be comfortable with, it lessens your chances of you going back to prison. So you want to tell them, everybody can't be an entrepreneur. That's not the route for everybody. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to get some kind of skills or some kind of skill set that you can make money where you can take care of yourself and be comfortable. Any more questions?
What kind of student were you in high school?
Yeah, I went to high school. I actually went to college as well. I was an average student. I made B's and C's. I was an average student. But the thing about when I was in high school, and that's why I'm very excited about what you all are doing here and some of the things that y'all talked about in the seminar. You have to have goals for your life. My thing was I just want to make money. That can't be it. Because if you can make money selling drugs, you have to have goals in your life. You have to say, I want to be X, Y, Z, whatever they might be. You want to set some specific goals for your life and set a plan around it. So when you get tired and you don't want to read or you don't want to write, if you know that you want to become a lawyer or a doctor, I heard somebody here say they wanted to become a construction engineer, whatever it is that you want to become, you're not going to always feel like doing it. But if you say to yourself, this is what I want to be, that knowing what you want to be is going to keep pushing you to accomplish the goals that you set for yourself.
I just wanted to add to that, in reading your book, you said that you were very disturbed by the number of men incarcerated that were dropouts and disengaged in school and that.
In my personal opinion, one of the main reasons that African American men are in prison at large numbers is a lack of education. Education gives you a certain kind of self-esteem that nothing else gives you. I couldn't stand up and speak to you all 10 years ago. But because I'm an educated person now and that gives me a certain kind of self-esteem, I can go speak to anybody. So you want to educate yourself at all costs. Whatever way you choose to educate yourself, get you an education. When I got out of prison. And I've been out of prison now 3.5 years. Be 4 years in December.
I guess I was going to ask you, I heard you say that for those that are successful, don't look at how they got successful, you look at the mistakes they made. So for you, I know you just said you didn't have goals, I guess, in high school. Was there any other mistakes you would say that you made so that we as younger people could try and learn from your mistakes?
I didn't stay in school. And when I say school, I want to say that over and over again. Whatever way you choose to educate yourself, get an education. There's something about education that gives you a polished self-image of yourself. It makes your self-esteem go to the roof. Because when you have knowledge and you can sit there and you can answer questions from people and they can call you. For instance, people call me now. I'm a guy that's been to prison, but they'll call me and say, what do I need to tell my son? Because they know I have information about certain things. So you want to get information. Information is powerful. The more information you have, the better you are, because you can use it to help yourself and you can help others. And that's always the goal in life. How can I do what I'm doing so I can help better the world and at the same time better my life? Just hanging around with the wrong people and not having no goals and dreams, just saying, I just want to have money. And money can't be the goal. You have to have definite goals. I want to be X, Y, Z. And the byproduct has to be money. Just saying I want money, you can do anything to get money. So you want to have some definite goals and dreams for your life. Any more questions? Okay.
So it's okay, I mean, because you hear so much about what's happening in prison, things they do to you, especially when you're new or what they call fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So was it okay for you to be honest with yourself? I mean, because a lot of times you hear that
guys get raped or whatever, that kind of stuff. That, you know, in my personal opinion, that only happens if you wanted to. Now, I'm not saying that's in all cases. I never had any problems when I was in prison. Prison is a thing of respect. If you respect the next person, they're going to respect you. You go to your own space and they're going to go to theirs. You know, now, does those things happen in prison where guys get raped or what have you? Of course they do. But for the most part, it doesn't. That's a lot of TV. Now, it does happen. Like I said, it don't happen as frequent as most people would think it does.
were you able to go to church? Did they allow you guys to go to church?
Yeah, they have church. They have Bible studies. They have church. They have you know, they let anybody practice faith that want to practice faith, whatever you choose to practice. Any more questions? Thank you.
Imprint Center, Carver Community Organization, all the different sponsors, and all the youth staff that are here. And we're just really, really happy that you took the time out to come and speak to us today. We really appreciate it. Just a small token of our
That's
love.
fine.
We just had to get you some Libs chocolates.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll appreciate
I'm going to
them.
eat some now.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
I
Mr. Hardy.
appreciate it.
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming today.